and I'm just going to record this session. And as I said, we're going to look at one of the hands that was played last Thursday when I was away and Kate was running the game. So I'm going to just start by sharing my screen with you, and hopefully you can all see this board. It was board one from last Thursday, and as you can see, it was quite an interesting hand. Like many of the hands online, there had some extreme distribution, and this certainly did. You can see it was played in a club contract by West, 3 clubs, 4 clubs, or 5 clubs, although a couple of people played it north-south in a heart contract. And we're going to look at this being played in a variety of ways, and there'll be a couple of questions along the way about how you should play and how you should defend. So let's just bring up the hands. I'm just going to click here so that these will come up more quickly later on. For some reason, just as I started this, everything started running a bit slower than usual. Okay, so this was one of the times this hand was played, and you can see the bidding on this was 2 hearts by North, that's a weak 2. South bid 2 no trump. West bid 3 clubs. North bid 3 hearts. West bid 4 clubs, and South bid 4 hearts. And that was the final contract on a couple of the times this was played. It was played in 4 hearts by North, and each time East led their club. And let's just have a look at this from declarer's point of view, because each time this was played in 4 hearts, although the contract could be made according to the computer, no one managed to make it. So if you're playing in a contract of 4 hearts, what you want to do is count your losers from the point of view of the North hand, which has got the longer trump suit, but taking into account everything in dummy. So can you tell me, to start off with, how many losers you think you've got? How many club losers have you got?
2, 1.
You have 1, don't you? Because you've just got 1 there.
Yeah.
Do you have any diamond losers?
1.
No.
No.
You have no diamond losers. You've got the king and the ace. In fact, you've got the ace, which will provide another trick. Would you expect any heart losers?
No.
No is the right answer. You've got 10 trump there, including the ace, king, queen, jack. And the only losers you have, apart from the 1 club, therefore, are in spades. In the North hand, you have a number of spade losers, and you are going to try to avoid those spade losers by ruffing them in the South hand. Does that make sense? If you can, you're going to ruff as many spades as you need to, and perhaps you'll only lose 2 spades. So your goal on this hand should be to lose 2 spades and 1 club. And if you can hold your losers to those 3 tricks, you can make 4 hearts. Well, let's have a look. Let's see what happened on this hand when it was played. West won the ace of clubs and returned the club, and North, as declarer, you need to be very wary of this here. West has bid club strongly here, so it's very likely they've got a very long club suit, and you should realize that if you ruff low here, you're in danger of an overruff. And that is what happened on this hand. North, if we just bring up the 4 hands, could actually have ruffed with anything 6 or upwards, because East has just got the 4. But East, unfortunately, they ruffed with the 2. East then over-ruffed, and then they lost another trick. So after this is what happened. I'm just replaying how it was played. West got on lead with the ace of spades, led another club. This time North did better and ruffed with the queen of hearts, although in fact East has got no more trumps at this point. And now what North should probably do is draw trumps. So they played the king of diamonds, which is okay. they started drawing trumps, but then they stopped. They tried to cash the kick, the ace of diamonds, and that was rough too. So they suffered 2 roughs there, and if we wind this through forward to the end, you'll see that North ends up just making 8 tricks. Okay, so how should Declarer have played this? Well, the main thing, I suppose, is to realize that, especially on this bidding, you're in great danger of a club ruff. In other words, although you can ruff the club, it may well get over ruffed. And on this bidding, you should certainly be aware of that. Even without the bidding, even without East-West bidding strongly like that, you should be aware that there's a risk of a ruff, and there's no need to ruff low. In other words, this is how you should really play it to make 4 hearts. You lose that first trick, and then if another club is played, you need to ruff high. It turns out you can ruff with anything other than the 2, but you should probably ruff with the queen here. Think about it. You've got 10 trumps, including the ace, king, queen, jack. So you can afford to ruff with the queen, and that's really what you should do to avoid any risk of an overruff from East. Okay, now you've done that ruff, what I would do is proceed to draw trumps. And it's going to take 2 rounds to draw the opponent's trumps. And once they're drawn, then you're at no risk of any ruffs yourself. So the trumps have gone now. And all I need to now do is start thinking about playing the spades. So I'm going to win that king of diamonds and then play spades. I'm planning to ruff, if necessary, 2 spades here, and I've also got the ace of diamonds. So I'm expecting to just lose 2 spades here. So play a spade, lose that one. If they play a club back, I'm going to ruff that. Play another spade, which I'm going to lose. If they play another club, I can ruff that. And now I can start ruffing my spades, which I'll ruff in dummy. I've got the ace of diamonds to take as well, so I can throw that away. And now everything is good. But my jack of spades is actually good, or I could just cross ruff the last 2 tricks. So it was possible to make 10 tricks on that one, to make 4 hearts, but no one managed to do that. They all suffered a heart ruff. Sorry, a club ruff. Anyone have any comments or questions on that? More commonly, this hand was played in 5 clubs, and this, I think, is a quite reasonable bid. 2 hearts, I'm not sure about the 3 diamonds, but 4 hearts seems reasonable with the 10-card trump fit, and West bids 5 clubs, and a lot of people ended up playing in 5 clubs or 5 clubs doubled, for example. Yes, if West does bid 5 clubs, I think with the South hand, I'd be certainly thinking about the possibility of doubling that. But anyway, this time it was played in 5 clubs. And North here, we're going to look at this hand actually from the point of view of South here. Your partner here leads the 9 of hearts, and this is what this defender did. They won the first trick with the ace of hearts, and I've got the first poll of the evening, and I'm going to ask you, what should South play now? So South, defending against 5 clubs, you've won the first trick with the ace of hearts, and I'd like to ask you, which suit do you think South should play now? So here comes the question, and pick a suit for that and share the results with you. And the answers are pretty evenly divided. 11% have gone for a spade, 16% went for a heart, 42%, the majority, went for diamonds, and 32% went for clubs. And I suppose I thought I'd include this question here because I think the answer should be fairly obvious. just have a little think about this. Your partner has led a heart and you've won the first trick. Now, North, because they opened a week 2, you should be pretty certain they started with 6 hearts. You started with 4 hearts and there was 1 in dummy. So West, declarer, presumably has another heart. And what do you think declarer is going to do with that heart if you give them a chance? They're going to rough it.
Rough it.
They're going to rough it in dummy. And because dummy only has 1 club, you can draw that club and prevent declarer from roughing the heart. So that's what you should do. Those who said clubs, well done. I think this is a clear case for leading a club here. There's no point leading a heart because declarer is going to be able to rough that in dummy. You can see that. Leading a diamond is terribly dangerous because you're helping establish that long diamond suit. And leading a spade is also very unattractive because you're leading into the king 10 in dummy. If your partner's got something like the queen or jack, you're just helping declarer with that suit. So the clear lead here, the obvious right answer is a club. All right. Anyone have any questions on that? What actually happened on this hand, as you can see, I'll just bring up the 4 hands. You can see West does have another heart. The defender here actually played the ace of diamonds, which works out very badly because your partner plays the king, and that also sets up the queen of diamonds in dummy. Another diamond was played now, which declarer did well to rough high there, roughing with the 10, not risking an over rough. And now, before drawing trumps, they played the 10 of hearts and roughed that in dummy, which was always the plan. They then played the spade, they got back to their hand, and they drew the remaining trumps. Okay, they divided quite badly, but they drew them all. And in the end, they made 11 tricks there. So to defeat this contract, it's really up to South to, after winning the first heart, to switch to a club. It's an obvious situation where you can get rid of the ability of declarer's ability to rough in dummy. There's only 1 club there, and you can draw it and prevent the heart rough. One other thing I'll mention on this hand, because a number of people, when they were leading here, they led the 9 of hearts. That is an unusual lead. You may have been thinking that this is an interior sequence, the queen with then the 9, 8, 7, but that's only normally used if it's an internal sequence headed by an honor, such as the 10. So, in fact, the normal lead here would be the 4th highest, not the 9, but the 7 of hearts. It doesn't make much difference, but it's not considered normal to lead the 9 in that situation. Okay, so you just lead your 4th highest. I think a heart lead is a good lead, although some people led the king of diamonds, which could have worked out well too. There was one time that it was defended correctly. This was one time when it went 2 diamonds, 3 clubs passed out, and again North led the 9 of hearts. South won with the king. Actually, that is correct. If you have the ace and the king, 3rd hand should play the bottom of any touching honours, 3rd hand as high as necessary. And this particular South saw the danger of heart rough and played a club. Okay, and now declarer cannot get rid of that 10 of hearts. Declarer just drew trumps here, and in the end, they're going to just cash their spades. They could try to set up the diamonds, but eventually they'll lose a heart, and they just made 10 tricks, which is what everyone should have been held to, 10 tricks instead of 11. Do interrupt me if you have any questions about that. So that was an example of the defending there to prevent the heart ruff. Let's have a look at another hand here. Here the bidding has gone 3 spades, and West, you've got a good hand there and you'd like to bid something, but your hand doesn't really qualify for anything. I think you've got 16 points, but it's quite hard for you to bid over a preemptive 3 spades. Let's suppose you pass that out and you're on lead against 3 spades, and let's suppose you start with the ace of diamonds. You lead the ace of diamonds, down comes dummy, and let's suppose you take the ace and take the king, dropping the queen. And I've got the second poll question for you now, which is, what suit should West play now? So you've just won the first 2 tricks with the ace and king of diamonds, and the second question for you is, which suit should West play now? Have a little think about it. I'll give you a few seconds and then I'll launch. So let's end the poll there, and I'm going to share the results with you. And the majority here, 45% have gone for spades, with 10% choosing hearts, 20% choosing diamonds, and 25% choosing clubs. So let's have a look at this and see what we think. Well, this is what I think. South has got a weak hand apart from a good spade suit. We wouldn't expect them to be particularly strong. But what we can see in the North hand is that there's a void in diamonds. And it's quite possible that Declarer has at least one more diamond that is a loser. You know, the ace, king, queen, jack have gone, so your 10 of diamonds is good. But it's quite likely, even though 2 rounds of diamonds have gone, that Declarer's got at least one more diamond that they would like to ruff in dummy. And you have the ideal holding in trumps to prevent that, because you have the ace of spades. So what you can do is draw the trumps from dummy so that Declarer cannot ruff any diamonds. And the right card here to play, and I think this is much better than playing anything else, is to play the ace of spades. And you're able to cash the ace of spades, you play another spade, which gets rid of the last trump from dummy. If we bring up the 4 hands now, you can see that Declarer does indeed have more diamonds that they would, if you had not found that defense, be able to ruff. Apart from that, Declarer doesn't have any losers because the spades are all good now, and he's got 2 aces to take care of that. So Declarer has now 2 potential diamond losers. He can draw the last trump, and then if the opponent's defend...
Indians visiting breeders.
Okay, someone has got some background noise there. If you could please mute yourselves. Sorry, I'm just trying to get that. Let me just mute everyone. Yeah, if you do have any background noise, please don't turn it off. So Declarer now has got these 2 diamond losers, and he's got no real way to get rid of them. And if the defense hang on to the right cards, then he will lose those 2 tricks. Declarer might now think, let's see, what can Declarer do? Well, he might cash his ace of hearts, and this is actually a bit of a mistake, playing hearts now and ruffing them, because you're ruffing in the long hand, which doesn't really gain you any advantage, and it just tells the opponents that you have no more hearts in your hand. So if he plays this way, and this is the way a number of people did play this, they played the club and roughed the club, all they're doing is telegraphing to the opponents that they've run out of clubs and they've run out of hearts in the hand. And it really tells West that he should hang on to the diamonds, because that's the only suit that South has apart from spades. So when Declarer now plays the spades, West should have no hesitation in throwing away the clubs, and will eventually be able to make the last trick as well with the 10 of diamonds. So good defense can actually hold Declarer to 8 tricks there by stopping the diamond ruffs and then hanging on to the diamonds. So this was another example of, once you see dummy, of realizing that Declarer may have some diamonds they need to ruff, and you have a very good trump holding so that you can prevent that by switching to a trump. Here's another hand for you, and this is the third and final pole of the evening. Here the bidding has gone as follows: 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts, pass, pass, pass. And this time I've got a question for you, which is, what would you lead with this hand? Which suit do you think West should lead? So take a minute, and then I'm going to launch the third and final poll, which is, which suit do you think West should lead? Okay, we're up to 82% have answered. So let's end the poll and share the results with you. And the majority here have gone for clubs. 63% have gone for the unbid suit, which I can see why. And the other 3 choices are pretty even between spades, hearts, 11% each, and diamonds, 16%. So let's see if we can analyze this and find the right answer. It's tempting to lead clubs because it's the unbid suit. But think about what we know about the South and the North hand. South has bid 2 suits here, hearts followed by diamonds, and North has gone back to hearts. So probably North has more hearts than diamonds, or they might have equal length. The other thing you know on this hand is that South has got at least a 4-card diamond suit, but that suit is not a solid suit because you've got good diamonds. So what you can tell is that Declarer presumably has got the ace and king of diamonds, but after that he's got 2 losers, and what he's probably planning to do is to ruff those in dummy. You should not be surprised to see a layout something like this. Okay, it went 1 heart, 1 spade, 2 diamonds, 2 hearts. North is right here to go back to 2 hearts because his partner is promising at least 5 hearts and might only have 4 diamonds, as in this case. So this hand is a bit like one we were looking at earlier, where there's a shortage of diamonds in dummy. And you can see that Declarer, if you give them the chance, they may well be able to play the ace king of diamonds and hopefully try to ruff 2 diamonds. So this is a situation where you need to anticipate this. This is another situation that calls for a trump lead. And you're drawing trumps here because you can envisage something like this where you want to prevent dummy from ruffing the diamonds. So the best lead here is the ace of hearts followed by another heart. Once you see dummy, you realize you're doing the right thing here, because by playing another heart, Declarer now has no more hearts in dummy. And you know that South has got 4 diamonds here, so you're hoping that you'll be able to set up, get 2 diamond tricks now that Declarer can no longer ruff. So what Declarer might do now is draw the last trump and maybe try to set up the spades. Okay, but East gets in, and East might well decide to play a diamond here, leading into dummy's weakness here. That's always a good strategy. Declarer might go back to spades, but the opponents keep playing diamonds here. And this is an interesting one. Declarer is now hoping to set up to get those spade tricks, but has trouble getting to dummy. So if they play the club here, East is probably best not to win that one. But if they play another club, they want to play their ace now to stop the spades, Declarer getting to the spades. Now, if they switch to a diamond, now West will get to finally cash those 2 diamonds, and good defense there will hold Declarer to just 7 tricks, down 1. Okay, so this was another situation that called for a trump lead, based on the bidding and based on your holding in Declarer's second suit. The fact that you've got good diamonds there means that Declarer doesn't have a solid suit and will certainly need to ruff those, and you prevent that by drawing trumps. Any comments or questions on that? I just want to end with the last one to sort of warn you that it's not always right to draw trumps as a defender. I hope you realize that. Sometimes it gives the advantage to Declarer if you lead trumps. So let's have a look at this one, where the bidding has gone 2 spades, 4 spades. You're on lead, and you lead the ace of diamonds. Now, this, on the face of it, might look a bit like one we looked at earlier, but it's different because you can see 4 spades in dummy. Declarer started with 6 spades in their hand. They've got 4 in dummy, so they've got a 10-card spade suit, and that means that you've only got 2 and your partner's only got 1. And what that means is that even though Declarer may have some diamond losers that they would like to ruff, you cannot prevent them by drawing trumps. Because you've only got 2 trumps and there are 4 in dummy, you cannot draw the trumps. You cannot prevent Declarer from ruffing diamonds if they need to. So this time you need a different strategy. And what you should probably do here is take your 2 diamonds and then switch to another suit. If we bring up the 4 hands, you can see that your partner's actually got the ace of spades over there, which is nice. But apart from that, you've got to try to make one of the trick somewhere else, either in hearts or in clubs. If you play a heart here, it turns out Declarer can still make this, because even though your partner's got the king, they can actually make it by taking the ace and then, before touching trumps, getting rid of that heart loser. So they can actually play the ace, king of clubs, discarding that. And now when they play the trump, your partner won't be able to cash their king of hearts. So Declarer can still make this contract. After this, Declarer, remember, wanted to ruff diamonds, so they might ruff a diamond there, come back to their hand and ruff another diamond, which they can ruff with the queen, and then their remaining trumps are good. So they'll make their 10 tricks here. You couldn't prevent it, but there was no point on this hand in trying to draw trumps, because you could never draw trumps to prevent the diamond rush. You can see Declarer does have 2 diamonds he wants to ruff or get rid of in some other way, but you can't prevent it on this hand. So that was it, all I wanted to talk about. It's situations when the defense should think about drawing trumps, think about switching to a trump, especially after they see dummy, especially if dummy's quite short in trumps and has a shortage elsewhere where it seems very likely Declarer would want to ruff. And that's often a good strategy. Okay? Don't get under the impression you should always be leading trumps or always switching to a trumps. It really requires you to look at dummy and try and work out if you can draw trumps and if you can prevent ruffs in dummy. Okay? Anyone have any comments or questions on that? we have opened up the real bridge game, and that'll be starting at 7:30. That's going to be the end of the talk for this evening, except anyone who needs a partner, could you unmute yourself and let me know? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing there. And if anyone here needs a partner, could you speak up now?
I do.
Jyotsna. Okay. Anyone else? I give people a minute here in case they don't realise they're muted. Is there anyone else who needs a partner?
Shobha.
Shobha.
Mm.
How about you can play together then? How's that? You did all right before.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Would you two like to play together? Okay. Anyone else needs a partner? If not, we'll end the call there. Thank you all very much. And I'll see you online about 7:30. All right?
Okay then.
Thank you all very much. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.